1580. We fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
All I ever wanted was a black grand national. Being rational, give them what they asked for. It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that are really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on it. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made him mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-pad. Watching do it. We survived outside, all from the music. What? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega. Welcome home. This is not a song. This is a revelation. How to get a gone. Teach you a man, baby. I don't understand, baby. Pay your bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction. That's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird hands, baby. Whoa! It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that are really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on it. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made him mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G-pad. Watch do it. We survived outside, all from the music. What? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, what? How many shit I seen? Send them all. Take a risk or take a trip. You know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and lieutenants for the get back. This
Happy Wednesday. All up in the business Wednesday. You were locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. What up, though? All right, listen. Tonight, we're going to question what enough really is and for whom. We're going to get into those details. I got the receipts for your timeline, the remix. So we're going to get into Odell Beckham Jr.'s telling the world, seemingly, we'll get into all of that, that $100 million bag is basically not enough. Maybe, dare I even say, almost struggle money. We'll get into the details. Not really, but sort of. We're also going to talk about Tisha Campbell. She's outside dating. She got a new look, or she's trying to date. But she said that what she is finding is that men are trying to date Gina instead of wanting to date her. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get into rapper Meek Mill. He said the OGs are hoarding game, and he's going to run his business plays with the white boys and the Arab men. That's what he said. So we're going to get into his comments and, as we do, get all up in the business and break it down because it's Wednesday. So pull up, grab your snacks, adjust your volume because I can be loud, but you like it. And don't worry, I already did the deep dive, so you won't have to. We're going to get into all of those details. But before I do, we start the night off with a couple of conversation starters. And as mentioned, it's Wednesday, all up in the business Wednesday. So that means that I am joined by author, business strategist, marketing genius. I see dreams and hope. It's on the desk, the book. Damon Haley, owner of Slay Hair 3 Ys and Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood and Hawthorne. Because for this topic, we need to get all up in the business. Maybe you've heard the Clippers are clipping. They have sent Chris Paul home mid-road trip saying thank you for your services during Chris Paul's farewell tour. Right? That seems mean. That seems a bit much. That seems like the Clippers. Right? So, DH, I'm going to get your thoughts on that when we come fully back in. But we're putting it out there. And, right? In addition to that, because there's a lot of sports things happening. Terrence Crawford has been stripped of his WBC belt over fees, right? He just made history beating Canelo to unify at 168. And the WBC said, that's cute, but run us our coins. So they're basically stripping his belt over a fee he flat out refused to pay, right? It's his super middleweight title. And basically, he was issued sanctioning fees on some of his recent fights. The main fee was issued September 13th in the Canelo fight, where he reportedly earned $50 million. The standard WBC fee is about 3% of the purse. And they said that they cut it down to 0.6%, roughly $300,000. And it's earmarked a chunk for a retired fighters charity, right? That's per The Guardian. The WBC claims that they repeatedly tried to contact Crawford's camp about the unpaid fees on multiple fights with no response. His record is still undefeated, 42-0 with 31 knockouts, and he keeps his WBA, IBF, and WBO belts, right? The WBC belt will now be contested by, I do not want to disrespect this person's name, Sheeraz, Shiraz, I believe, and Christian Mabili. So Mabili is 29-0 and 1 tie with 24 knockouts. So Bud responded on Instagram and basically said, you can take that bleeping belt. And he said that there's favoritism towards Canelo, and he called them out for inconsistency and mandatory enforcement. So is it power? Is it principle? How much is the strap really worth? Bud is going to do one thing. Stand on business. Andy?
We still know he's the champ.
We do know
So
he's
it
the
doesn't
champ,
matter.
right?
It's
So
just like Reggie Bush when they took his MVP away.
His Heisman,
His
yeah.
Heisman. We
Symbolic gestures. All right, well, there it is. Lean into it. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey.
What's that on that beat?
Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. 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 Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag be getting thrown like it was pass interference. Padlock around the building. Crash pulling up in a unmarked truck just to play freeze tag. With a boner pick like it was sea bass.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
With Target, gifting has never been easier. This Saturday and Sunday, Target gift cards are 10% off with Target Circle. Treat everyone on your list to something you know they'll love. Gift cards for the trendsetters, the techies, the fashionistas, the foodies, and even yourself. The perfect time to save is now. This deal is a yearly fave, so hurry. Get more gifting for your buck and save 10% on Target gift cards with Target Circle for 2 days only. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 remembers Robin Ayers on the 1-year anniversary of her passing. 1 year ago this week, we lost a remarkable and vibrant voice. Robin Ayers touched countless lives through her passion, her love, her service, and her smile, which you could see through the radio. KBLA Talk 1580 honors her memory and celebrates the legacy she left behind. Robin, your spirit lives on in every conversation, in every connection, and in every one of us, inspired by your voice. Gone, but never forgotten. KBLA Talk 1580, where voices matter.
I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So first up, you know how this goes down, 800-920-1580. If you want to join the conversation, you can hit us on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Of course, download the app, catch up on past episodes. Did you guys use the voice note thing? You can leave us messages there if you're too shy to call in. So just a reminder about that. I believe that's still there. And, of course, if you want the visual to go along with the audio experience, hop in the YouTube chat. The VIPs are in there chatting, and we love them so very much. First of all, I saw Channon Thompson in there. Happy birthday to Channon. Big ups to you. And big ups to the chat, because last night they alerted us that one of our own, one of Inglewood's finest, Morningside High, I believe he went to Clemson College, LA Laker, Eldon Campbell, passed away at the age of 57. So we want to send condolences out to his family. 57 seems far too young, even though I'm recognizing that, yeah, that's a life lived. Still, in the modern world, 57, the 50s, as we have been discussing, for black men, I'm not comfortable with how many we seem to be losing in this area at this time to health-related issues, right? So we will just say that and, send good tidings around. So I mentioned it's Wednesday, so that means that we are all up in the business, and I'm joined by author, strategist, owner of Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood and Hawthorne, Slay 3 Wise Hair. Get into the, what is it, rosé? Is that the pink?
That rosé, yeah.
Yeah, get into the rosé. It's a beautiful new color added to the line. All right. Damon Haley is in the building with us, DH. Welcome in.
Hey. Thanks for having me. Hey, everybody out there.
As always. So I need your opinion on the Chris Paul situation with the Clippers, because they still know it's his last season. They know Chris Paul's personality. Mm-hmm. He's been there before. It's not a secret around the league. What the heck? It's not going to help them win.
No, it can't. Saddened for one. CP announced it was his last year. He's one of the well-loved and one of the great, from that Lob City and all that. We love him. It just really shows a couple things. One, it was really, really bad, for one. Don't know offhand. I haven't talked to anybody yet, but they said him and Ty Lue hadn't been
spoken. In a couple weeks.
Conflict there. I know Lawrence. Lawrence is a sensible dude.
Lawrence Frank,
the GM. He said it's documented he flew out there, but it was very irreconcilable. They couldn't pull it together, and the Clippers are, for whatever reason, doing really bad this year. 4-15 or 16. Yeah, I mean, they're just doing really bad. And I know the type of person Chris is. He's probably very vocal. We know that, I don't envision James as a leader in the locker room. I don't envision, Kawhi is a leader in the locker room. And so Chris was probably just blasting him. I would, trying to motivate.
Them to stand up.
Oh, yeah. Like, hey, this ain't cool. We better than the Wizards, so to speak. So bad situation. You hate for it to happen. And then the Clipper brand, if you will, is probably taking the worst hit, because you don't want to send a future Hall of Famer, a beloved guy, former president of the NBA Players Association, well loved by everybody,
and someone that helped your franchise get their moment.
Mm-hmm.
Lob City with CP3. Like, as a matter of fact, I think Blake had a screenshot of a FaceTime call between himself, DeAndre Jordan, and Chris, and there was no caption. We know those were the core pieces of Lob City.
Yeah. So it's bad all around. I mean, is Chris going to land somewhere? I'd be surprised if he doesn't. You want a guy like that in the locker room. I think the game, Adam Silver going to say, no, this dude going to finish his year out right. He's that kind of pillar to the NBA brand. So I'd be very, very surprised. I bet my left arm, that he'd find a team. He's going to find somebody that wants a quality guy in the locker room. But I don't know how the Clippers recover.
They can, because here's the thing that people are forgetting. Part of the reason why he wanted to retire here is that he wanted to be close to his family. His family has remained here. His son is in high school, Campbell Hall? It is. Yeah. And he wants to be close to his family at this point. So, yeah, he might be looked at for other teams, but he wanted to be home with his family.
Yeah.
So they're putting him in an interesting position. Andy?
There is another team in the city, you know what I'm saying?
There is.
He doesn't have to come, but I'm just saying.
So let me ask this, right? And this is a real question, right? Because obviously we know I bleed purple and gold and blue and gold and a couple other colors that are associated with Southern California. But the point is, we've had Russ go through the Lakers, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, back in the day, Gary Payton and Karl Malone. Do players passing through at this point in their career, especially with this current Laker team makeup, right? New ownership year. Does that make sense? Does it fit? I know veterans are all the league seems to be turning their back on veterans at this point also, but that's another conversation.
I'll be honest. I haven't taken a strong look at the Laker roster to see if they could use him, but if they can, they will. Obviously, LeBron and CP go back 20 years. And so, LeBron, I think, helped D. Wade get to Cleveland. He helped Melo get to L.A. I know he's chirping in Pelinka's ear right now. And if there's a glimmer of hope, it can be. But But do they care about in that way? No.
LeBron's chirps.
No. You got Austin Reeves you already got ball handlers, right? You have enough leadership there. I don't know if it's a good fit, but and I don't know how much Chris wanna CP wanna sit on the bench.
Right.
So it might not be the best fit for him.
Interesting, Andy.
Well, he was already sitting on the bench playing for the Clippers. I'll tell you that much. And the way LeBron has been acting these past couple of games, kind of being very dismissive to Coach J.J. Redick. I don't know. Maybe somebody like a Chris Paul would come in and maybe, pour some wisdom on brother LeBron James. LeBron James already seems checked out this season so far. Luka, Austin Reeves, LaRavia, they're doing their thug thizzle. I'll say this. I'm not a big fan of having Chris Paul on the team, but he can come on the squad. I'm sorry, Bronny James, you're just not going to get no playing time, none whatsoever. He's going to be Maybe Luka's back up. You know, I think he can get some quality minutes, and you'll be playing for a championship. If not the Lakers, I think OKC will take you.
But I don't think he wants to go there. I think he wants to be at home.
Do you want to win a chip? Last season,
You think OKC has got it this season?
I mean,
you know?
they are smashing everybody right now.
They only got one loss in 2019.
You know,
Yeah,
and he has rapport with Shea Gilgeous. He was a part of that. You know,
That's true.
their ascension to a degree. He was, you know, at the finals, you know, supporting them.
Well,
he's inexpensive. That's
yeah.
for one. He's inexpensive, so he can go a lot of different places. I think he'll just have to figure out how much, because he's not going to really start playing until after All-Star anyway. You don't want to burn him out because he's an old guy, right? So I think that's the pedigree. And the OKC will be interesting because they won and he hasn't. That would be a dynamic.
So, yeah, so his voice.
Yeah, I don't know if his voice would be as loud because it's like,
we already did that, old man.
Right. So,
I need you to chill, relax a bit.
But, hey, if it's 450 spots in the NBA, I would think that CP gonna get one of them. You know.
Oh, side note, you guys know we're not going to talk about this now. I'm just mentioning it. Giannis and the conversation with his agents and the Bucks brass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay in Milwaukee. Can I say this too?
Yes.
You know I'm a conspiracy guy. All the shenanigans that happened, you know, in the beginning of the season with Kawhi and the owner, ramifications. I'm that type of guy, that type of energy.
Oh, so you think
down.
it's karma?
Karma, 100%.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. From one sports topic to another, Odell Beckham Jr. was recently on the Pivot podcast, and a clip from it has gotten people up in an uproar. Odell, in the clip, seemingly seems to be saying that $100 million isn't enough to last for one's entire life of a young athlete. Now, it's a clip, y'all. It's a clip. It's not the whole thing. And he was basically making an example that you don't get that $100 million all at once in a year, and about taxes and all of these things. But we're going to let you listen to the clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
And I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend.
That math is wrong.
Save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to get my mama a house. I'm going to do, everything costs money. So if you're spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year.
His math is very wrong.
You start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job that I sacrificed my whole life for, they are giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy and all the way. We weren't
talk about it all the time.
We weren't taught this.
So, DH, before I let you have the floor, you know what I'm good. So one, that math was not mathing. Those numbers were weird. But two, I feel like in 2025, right, you cannot talk about not having financial literacy because, one, all of these leagues provide that for you in the rookie orientation along. This is not the old days where, we had broke and it was so surprising, or the 98, I think it was, Sports Illustrated cover where they talked about all the ways athletes go broke and the number of children they have. We are not in that era. We have been educated over and over again. I'm not saying people aren't financially irresponsible, but what I am saying is that there are means and methods from the moment you step into the league. And Odell, your dad was a college athlete. You come from, I'm saying a middle class upbringing, right? And again, not saying that I know the stereotypes, but I'm saying you are in a much better financial position coming in than a lot of your peers. So I feel like that is a cop-out in a way to discuss all the ways we know that the money is not that. But Shaq came in the 90s, immediately put his NBA checks into, the market, mutual funds, all of these things that continue to pay dividends and grow over time. He's talked about it, Magic's there's all of these things. So I just feel like you sound out of touch with reality. Not because you want to floss, not because you want to do all of these things. It's not set up for you to fail like that. You were just irresponsible if you fail like that at this juncture, I feel. DH.
Yep, you're right. It's just we've seen way too many of those sob stories. And I'm sure he heard it too. You're right. The league preaches it. I've seen it myself. Every league preaches the financial literacy. Now, whether you engage in it, that's a whole different thing. That's the first thing. Secondly, you know better. And I know, to his background and all that, because going to LSU, you got other players. You got a stream of guys that you can, that I'm sure telling what and what not to do. Now, this is a New York guy. He went to New York, Giants. Those guys get turned out, like Lawrence Taylor got turned out. Strawberry, you go to New York and then you take yourself away from sensibility. You take yourself away from accountability and responsibility and get into a space and hanging out with people that don't really care about your financial situation.
Caught up.
So right. So that's it. So everything he's saying, it does sound old. It sounds very 90s. It doesn't sound like 2025. And this is a guy who walked into somewhere with Tim Cook.
Facts. When we come forward, we're putting a pin in DH. When we come forward, we'll have more on. I know. Okay. We're going to get into that. We'll have more on this conversation and more trending topics and headlines.
Do things, bad things with it.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Chicago is racing to finalize its 2026 budget, with Black Mayor Brandon Johnson defending his proposed corporate head tax.
And if you've never gone hungry, you wouldn't know why I have that urgency.
He criticized aldermen pushing an alternative plan that includes higher trash and liquor fees. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is back on the road with just weeks remaining in office. Today, he's in New Orleans for the African American Mayors Association and Combating Anti-Semitism Movement Conference. There, he'll join leaders from across the U.S. and North America to discuss strategies to fight anti-Semitism. And the Obama Presidential Center is set to open next June in Chicago's Jackson Park. The $800 million project faced delays from lawsuits and reviews, but began construction in 2021. The 20-acre site will feature a museum tower, library, auditorium, athletic center, park space, and a garden. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Silver Lake, we've got a crash just popped up. It's blocking the left lane of the northbound 101. It involves a motorcycle. This is right after Silver Lake Boulevard. We've got a backup behind it starting at the 5. A little further on in Hollywood, crash making its way to the shoulder on the northbound side as well. This one at Highland. You're going to hit that going slow already with brake lights from Vermont. And Eagle Rock, good news. CHP has cleared the crash on the 134 westbound before the 2.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There's a lot more drama to Chris Paul's departure from the Clippers, and it's a shame it got to this point. Paul was essentially cut from the Clippers late Tuesday night because management had grown tired of Paul's criticism of his teammates, tie-loose coaching style, and the failure of management to bring in better players. Clippers. Paul is right on target with his opinions of Clippers players and management. As a 21-year NBA veteran and future Hall of Famer, Paul knows when players and management are not performing like they should. The Clippers are next to last in the Western Conference at 5-16. They are 2-14 since November 3rd. Sources claim Paul and Lou were not on speaking terms the last few weeks. The Clippers are basically a mess. Team owner Steve Ballmer needs to step in and do something about this. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Come to
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast! Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA, just here to say hi, asking you, may I tell you about the day I picked up a microphone, a pad, and a pen. The legend of the tramp begins, the party host with the most, giving you a dose, see? Leaving instructions, so listen closely, 2 lines form and make sure you step soon. Fellas at the back door, girls by the bedroom. The name is played, don't dare play me cheap. The microphone is a broom and I'ma sweep you off your feet with feelings that you never felt. Another notch in the belt, there's no secret, I like to freak with the best of them. Then head to the stage in a test of men. And when it's done and said and done, play's gonna be the victorious one. Yeah, dope, ain't it?
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Is play a sad game? No? You just vibing this right now?
No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Tisha Campbell and dating. Okay. All right. Okay.
Your
So see,
co-star.
here I am thinking, what's my favorite Kid and Play song? I'm not even on that. I'm thinking, oh, I would have, Do This My Way. That's my jam. And you're thinking about Tisha, because Andy's always on theme. So shout out to that. Listen, we were talking about Odell Beckham Jr., and it should be noted that context is important. He did say that he was fine financially from his contract. However, he was setting up how $100 million for the uninformed. He could see how they could go broke, right? And I really feel like that is just out of touch. And as I broke down prior to, I do not subscribe to that line of thinking just based off of the levers and pulls and exposure of current athletes. Andy?
I gotta ask. I mean, we talked about it during the break. Where's that period? Where's that cutoff period? Because I can understand the 90s athletes speaking like this, right? But 2000s, the AIs, the Kobe's, the T-Macs.
No.
I mean, I wasn't really hearing too much about financial literacy around that period, but 2010, 2011, I started seeing documentaries pop up about that type of stuff. So I'm kind of curious, what type of athlete, what era would you not want to hear that from?
DH? Do you want to go
After Obama?
2007, 2008.
It was a breakdown. The whole financial system got blown up, and then one of the things that marries these higher salaries are the TV rights. So when all of that happens, it's just more money. So as you get more money, it's just harder to lose it. And I don't want to. It's really who you listen to. Too, because a lot of these players are still listening to people who are getting their fees and don't care about the man, the family, the legacy, and making it last forever. If you think about Iverson, it can't be, because Iverson got a lump sum when he turned 55.
Right. Even though he was having, in theory, financial stuff, there were people in place that put things, levers, controls in there to protect him from himself.
Yeah. And so that's the big thing. It's the literacy. It's people around you who care, and everybody has a finance person, a young lady or man that's just guiding that. It's like give you an allowance, all that kind of stuff, because you can't look at the contract and think all of it's yours. It's like a boxing purse. The boxer don't get all that money. You got fees and all that other stuff. So that's where the literacy comes in, just knowing your business. But I think probably after 2008, 2010, no one should have that issue of going broke.
I feel that. I totally agree with that. Too much information, too many resources, too much venture capital money.
And you mentioned it, Jill, that the NBA Players Association, every Players Association, they're there to serve you. So that's where you really can check your agent to make sure your agent is doing right by that, and they handle that policing. The league doesn't. They just do it when you're a rookie, and then it's the Players Association.
And it also should be noted, like I know, for example, with the NBA, you can take early retirement, right? It's just less money, just like with us. They could take their retirement at, I think, 45 is the earliest. Yeah. And currently what I think is you can either take a lump sum and get, I think like it's $1 million, $2.5 million or something like that, and they'll pay you $5,000 a month for the rest of your life. Or you could take, I think the larger payment is you don't take the lump sum, and it's $20,000 a month for the rest of your life.
Well, let's keep in mind, if you play for a team, that's a job. So what we're talking about is deferred compensation.
Correct.
Which any corporate person gets too. So it's kind of not the zeros are more for athletes, but the system is still the same with two 25-year-old workers.
These are
How
facts.
am I putting money away? What kind of house? All that kind of stuff. It's just that they're around people who spend tons of money, and your average 25-year-old is around people who don't spend money. They think about saving and investing versus spending. So, if you're around people that are about that, you cool.
These are facts. Maurice says in the chat, during the Vegas Summer League, they have seminars based on dollars for the young guys. Yeah, that's the rookie transition program that I'm talking about. They've been doing that really for longer than people are more comfortable mentioning, because a lot of it times, guys were ignored. They weren't thinking about their financial future. But the way things are set up now, especially, even though NIL is another conversation, another mess, but the financial structure that people seek and are talking about is being implemented, I feel, right, into these structures. Now, whether you follow them, that's another conversation. So we'll have to see. Listen, Andy.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Jay Williams, former Duke basketball player. I don't know if y'all follow him on social media. I feel like he's doing this whole transition thing, being a financial coach or whatnot. These are the individuals that we need. His voice needs to be magnified or whatnot, so he can help these kids.
It does. He's kicking it out there. Shout out to Jay Will. And he's doing a good job, and he's a good storyteller, because that's important too. So listen, really quick, before we get into Tisha, I just wanted to talk about this. Trevon Boykin, right? He is a guy that played, I can't remember where. He's a former Seahawks backup QB. I think, right? So he was a teammate of Russell Wilson's. And imagine Russ invites you to his mansion for Thanksgiving so you don't spend the holiday alone, right? And years later, you hit a podcast to call it Weird and dissect his family dynamics. Meanwhile, you have your own rap sheet, and it's the reason why you're no longer in the league. Well, that's kind of what happened with Trevon. He was on his House of Playmakers podcast, because every athlete has a podcast now. They all think they're storytellers. Yeah, shout out to them. And he recounted spending Thanksgiving at Russell's house, right? And he said it was the weirdest feeling because the food was catered. He comes from a country black family where everybody cooks. He thought if Russ has money, why didn't he fly his family out? He's sponsored by an airline, and he thought it was strange. He said Russell's mom wasn't there, his sisters weren't there, and he said it was almost dysfunctional. For context, Sierra's family is based in Atlanta. Russell's family doesn't live where they were at the time, so it's not necessarily crazy that her side was present and his side wasn't. Right? We don't know what else is going on. There's lots of things. So, I don't know. We're going to listen to the clip real quick.
Russell Wilson, I went to his house for Thanksgiving. The weirdest feel, like he catered. So, bro, I come from a traditional country black family.
We going down.
If I got as much money as Russell Wilson, my whole family would talk about me so bad if I ain't fly everybody out there for Thanksgiving. And I'm sponsored by an airline.
Yeah. Maybe he not close to his family.
And maybe he not. But his mama wasn't there. Sisters wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And even though it's still weird to me. I'm just still, even if you don't food with your family, it's still weird to me on Thanksgiving. My family gonna do the food. This is what we gonna. If you the one with the money, we coming to your house. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
That's what we gonna do. So to get over there and catch Russell Wilson, him is literally him, Sierra Daddy, me, Noonie, Baby Future, the chef, and 2 nannies, and 3 dogs, and Baby Future. At that time was bad as hell.
So, look, everybody got a story, right? When we come forward, we'll get into some more details about this.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Days after the Eaton fire devastated entire neighborhoods in Pasadena and Altadena, Black Freedom Fund, an organization that invests in leaders and organizations transforming black communities, established the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. The Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund is supporting local organizations, providing direct resources to families, and making sure that recovery reflects the needs and voices of the people who live there. For many, the journey to rebuild is just beginning, and the Black Freedom Fund is committed to being with them every step of the way. Stand with Gina. Donate by texting Black LA to the number 707070. That's Black LA to 707070. Together, we can help our neighbors rebuild their homes, lives, and hope. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, with James Farr on KBLA, Talk 1580.
Cedars-Sinai is helping shape the future of Los Angeles, working alongside local communities and showing up with resources and healthcare programs that open doors for people across the city. Through career development programs like Next Gen Healthcare Pathways and partnerships with over 200 organizations like Black Men in White Coats, Cedars-Sinai is educating and empowering future healthcare leaders right here in LA. With access to education, mentorships, and hands-on experiences, we can build a healthier Los Angeles together. Cedars-Sinai, here for LA.
The laws have not changed in California. All workers must be paid properly and protected from retaliation. Retaliating against a worker or not paying them because of their immigration status is illegal. Don't believe the lies. California laws protect all workers, regardless of immigration status. Document retaliation and wage theft. Report it to the Labor Commissioner's office. Learn about your labor rights. Visit wagetheftisacrime.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So, real quick, to wrap up this Trayvon Boykin thing, dog, you weren't even with your family on Thanksgiving. And you were booted out the league for allegedly, I can't even say allegedly because I believe he was convicted, breaking your ex-girlfriend's jaw. So, you might want to chill. Damon?
It was wrong. He obviously comes from a different culture. I could tell by his use of language. I could tell by his accent.
His diction?
He's a different type of dude. But even his consciousness or his maturity level, we know that's during football season, right? So he's inviting a guy who's probably going to be at the hotel or whatever. He went out of his way to invite him. So the family might just be like, we don't mess with Russ during the season,
right?
So it's a lot of stuff to unpack there. But to go on and then to talk about how somebody else's Thanksgiving should be, he should have been thankful for one, and then to talk about the behavior of somebody else's child, that's way out of bounds,
inappropriate.
Right. So he's just looking for clicks, follows, shares, all of that stuff. So I wouldn't even trip off of what Trayvon is talking about.
Boom, there it is. All right, let's get into this Tisha Campbell story because I think it's important.
Gina!
Tisha Campbell says she's never been on a real dinner date and that men are still trying to date Gina from Martin, not Tisha, the grown woman who's lived a whole life since the 90s and is not Gina. She says she's a little shy. There's things that she does. She was on an interview with Big Reed on 99.7 and not here in LA, somewhere else. And she was reflecting on how, the roles impacted her dating life. She said that she had never been on real dinner dates. She had 2 long-term relationships, one obviously with her ex-husband, Dwayne Martin, and that they just sort of hooked up and it was long-term. It wasn't like a courting process, right? So she said that her friend told her everybody just wants to date Gina. They don't want to get to know Tisha first. And, she's talked about working through her bankruptcy. She's recently had a mommy makeover, so she's feeling good about herself, but she's trying to figure out that line in this peak parasocial era as far as people in relationships. They think that they have developed this relationship with Gina from Martin and not understanding that Tisha could be a totally different person and convey herself as such. TH, what are your thoughts?
I can see that we get stuck with characters and all that kind of stuff. I feel bad for her because I don't know her well, but through my wife, I've been in her circle. She's a very nice woman, to be honest. And, we know it's tough after a long relationship to have a different identity. I mean, that Gina stuff was shot decades ago, for one. So it's like, don't put me in a time warp.
30 plus,
yeah,
right?
Don't put me in a time warp. And then she was Damon Wayans' wife after that.
Right,
so it's kind
Jay.
of like, yeah. So once again, guys have a tendency to remember what they remember, like what they like, because I like Gina. I love Gina, the character. I like Jay to a lesser degree, but she's been a television wife, but she's still Tisha. And, she's still a 50-plus-year-old woman that you get to learn about. So I hope that she finds a mature guy, somewhere on the planet that ain't seen Martin.
Andy?
I'm very curious to know who Tisha is, too. Because quite frankly, I just feel like Gina was her in a lot of ways. Like, what is so different between Tisha and Gina? I feel like all the roles that she's played, it's similar in nature as far as personality goes. Even, some of the movies, even her being a wife on My Wife and Kids, similar personality. So I'm kind of curious to know what those differences are.
Well, the other thing, too, hey, maybe it's an opportunity for her to go on a PR campaign. Because I've been watching her for a long time, and I just realized I really don't know Tisha over the years. And I know Diane's good friends with Pam. Tashina, I'm sorry, with Tashina.
Yeah.
And, Rico Hines, they were married and all that. And it's kind of like they've been just kind of flying under the radar. So we really don't know these people that have been in our lives for 30-plus years.
Facts.
I still don't know what Tommy did.
Rest in peace, Tommy
Right,
Raquel Ford.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch gears really quick because I wanted to make sure to get this topic in tonight before we wrap. Meek Mill says, we can't look up to older black artists. He posted this on X, right? He basically said, the old heads are hating. The OGs hoard the game, and I'm taking my business to white men and Arabs. The question is he exposing a real problem or creating a new one? Like, come on, dog. That sounds a lot like the white man's ice is colder, right? I can understand frustrations because sometimes we have a language when dealing with each other. Sometimes we take each other for granted, and that can happen. But also, I wonder who he's talking to or looking to for respect. He said, we can't look up to the black older artists because they be damn near hating on us, it feels like. But if a white man asks them to do it, they gonna twerk for them. He added that he refused to be around that devil mental warfare stuff for money. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Boule.
Oh, okay. And, he said that that people are using money to make it be perceived as motion. He concluded, all white men and Arabs are about business and getting play. Essentially saying, y'all be out there playing games. DH, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of business he's talking about, but I would say that there are ceilings to what we can do as a people because we just don't have certain deal flow that we can execute on.
Infrastructure,
so
yeah.
If he's saying that, totally agreed, pick and choose, hey, this isn't working over here. I don't know if it's hating, but it might be capability. That's the first thing. So we know I might be going to Qatar in January because the Middle Easterners or that's not a proper term. The West Asians have money to do whatever they want to do and will listen intently at whatever we want to do because they know it generates cash flow. Same thing with most white folks, Jewish, etc. People know we generate cash flow and have the systems for us to take advantage of it. Now, if that's what he's talking about, that's different. But the hating, I don't, and he said artists might not be business people.
These are facts.
Right, because he's not saying that the white artist or the Arab artist, etc. He's saying black artists which don't have the infrastructure, they talent, they business. It might be frustrating versus the systems that the Arabs or Middle Easterners and the white folks, Jewish folks have built. Totally go with that, but just don't say they hating on him because they not capable.
Because there's a difference between personal beefs and structural reality, as you just pointed out, and infrastructure is key and important. Listen, hit up Damon Haley everywhere on social media, right? Oh, listen, we have a copy of The Book of Dreams and Hopes, DH. That is Damon's book. If you're interested, 800-920-1580, call. Give Andy your email address, and I'll reach out to get this to you. Do that, and I may give another one away tomorrow. Coming up next is the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. You know I'll be back here tomorrow. 6 p.m.? Tap in with me. Sit tight for Zoe Williams. All right, you guys. I'll check you out later.
To exhale, having feelings that you're falling. Woman, I've already failed. I just can't help myself, baby, I'm falling. I'm falling. And I just can't help myself, baby, I'm falling. Contemplating what to do, falling faster over you. But my heart and pride are out there on the line. Dial your number on the phone, it's steady.